Howdy everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Tall Man Disc Golf YouTube channel. Got another short and sweet disc review for you today of the Discraft Comet. I've actually got a few of these here. These are all the Tour Series Z plastic Michael Johansson edition. This was one of the first discs actually when I started getting back into disc golf this summer that I picked up at my local disc shop, and it has been in my bag ever since. This is probably actually one of the most used discs in my bag. It's one of the first ones that I'll grab for a tee shot or for an approach shot too, honestly. If the basket's within 300 feet, I'm probably going with a Comet most of the time. I throw these off the tee really often. A lot of my local courses don't have like crazy bomber holes or anything like that, so this disc is pretty good for those courses. This is, all three of these discs actually are in the Tour Series Z plastic. I have one just regular Z that's in my wife's bag actually. She's really liking this disc as well. But yeah, this brown one here was actually the first one I ever got. And I quickly learned that brown discs in fall, when you're playing in a bunch of dead leaves and stuff, are very hard to find. So I picked up a couple pink ones here. We'll just use this one for the rest of the review though. Yeah, this Tour Series Z plastic feels really good in my hand. It's decently grippy for a premium plastic at least. Doesn't feel too slick. I know the rounds that I've played when it's been raining or something like that where the disc gets wet, it can get a little slick, but nothing too bad. And I normally have a towel to dry my discs off with anyway, so that's not a big issue. They're very durable plastic. This one I haven't thrown yet. I just got it in the mail the other day. But these two here have been in my bag for quite a while, and I've hit a few trees. I mean, I've hit my fair share of trees, let's be honest. But yeah, no real like noticeable chips or anything like that. They're very, very durable. They're really the only thing. I don't even know if the camera will pick them up. Got a few scratches on like the front face of the disc. I don't really know how that's happened, but for like noticeable chips or anything, really nothing. So I'm pretty impressed with the durability of this plastic. They are a little bit flexible, as you can see, but nothing too crazy like a Castoplast K2, if you know those kind of discs, how flexible they are, nothing like that. I will say this disc has a very unique feel in the hand. You can kind of see here the odd rim shape. It's kind of domey, coming down, and then it really cuts off, and you get this little flat, almost concave edge, and then you've got the lower part of the rim here with a nice decent sized bead on the bottom there. They do feel in the hand pretty deep, at least in my experience, and I've got big hands too. But just like comparing this to like a Buzz or to honestly almost any other disc, just very unique feel in the hand. And if you've ever thrown one of these, you'll know what I mean. But if you have thrown one of these, you're probably not watching this video. But yeah, they've just got a unique feel in the hand. It takes a little bit to get used to, but I don't think it's too big of an issue, but definitely different. So that's something to be aware of. I think first time I held one of these, I honestly thought it felt like more like of an ultimate Frisbee disc instead of a disc golf disc. But excuse me. But once you get used to it, it just feels, it feels fine in my hand now, and I throw this so often that I'm just pretty comfortable with it. Getting into the nitty gritty here, these Tour Series discs don't have flight numbers on them or anything. Just the stamp that they went with doesn't have that information on it. This is a 6 stamp, by the way. Little money foil there, really cool. I really like that. But anyways, flight numbers are speed of 4, glide 5, turn of -2, and a fade of 1. So an understable mid for sure, and actually a little bit of a slower mid-range. I believe Buzzes, Maltas, I'm blanking on other mid-range discs right now, but those are all, 5 speeds. I've got a couple Castoplast mids that are 6 speeds. So this is definitely a slower disc, and you'll notice that when you throw it, it doesn't take as much arm speed to get it going. I would say this is a great disc for, you know, if you're trying to really work on your form, work on, you know, throwing nose down, or just getting it to come out of your hand flat, or just in trying to improve your form in general. This is a great disc. Honestly, this disc was probably the one that jump-started my my growth with my form and just my improvement in that area. I just take these discs out to a field and just throw them over and over again, you know, from one end of the football field and back. And this disc has really helped with learning good form. It'll tell you if your form is not great. This disc doesn't respond well to just trying to muscle the disc out there as hard as you can. But if you've got good form with it, it'll be your best friend. This disc responds really well to being thrown with good form. It is possibly the straightest flying disc in my bag. I know I'm a beginner player, so my arm speed probably isn't the most impressive, but for where I'm at, this flies very, very straight. I don't see a ton of turn off to the right or a major fade back at the end, unless I give it, like, you know, some crazy hyzer or Annie line for whatever reason. Obviously, if you throw it with more power, it is understable, so the faster it gets going, the more turn you'll see. I never have any problem with these, you know, turning into a roller or anything like that, though. When I throw them, they're usually very, very straight and maybe just the tiniest bit of turn off to the right, but nothing majorly drastic or anything like that. They will hold an Anheuser line. I'm a right-hand backhand thrower, so they will hold an Anheuser line very well. They also will hold a flat throw very well. If you give them a little bit of hyzer, it takes a little bit of oomph actually to get them to flip up to flat. Surprisingly more than I expected, honestly. But when you do get that right amount of power, they will flip up to flat and carry, which I really like. Really good for, you know, wood shots, or if you're just trying to hit a tight line, this is a very good disc for that. Absolutely, this is a form over power disc. Like I said before, you know, it's a good disc to learn your form with, but it's also a disc that requires form. Like, it'll teach you a lot, but it's going to ask a lot of you at the same time. I use this disc alongside a Buzz and a Malta, kind of form my mid-range core trio of discs there. So I've got a pretty overstable mid, pretty neutral mid, and then a slightly understable mid. And I think that setup really works well together. But, you know, your mileage may vary. I'm sure that there's plenty of different combinations and stuff out there. And somebody who's got more arm speed than me will probably experience more understability with this disc than I do. Overall, I'd say this is an excellent disc, and I'm a big Discraft thrower, but I don't see this ever being replaced in my bag. I don't know what I would even replace it with, to be honest with you. This is, like I said at the beginning, this is the first disc that I grab out of my bag for a tee shot, approach shot. Honestly, anything except for a putt, I'm probably going with this disc, unless it's a very specific line that I'm trying to hit with a different throw. But I really like this disc. If you can get over the kind of weird rim feel and the unique, just the unique nature of the disc with, you know, how you need to throw it with really proper form, I think it's an excellent disc, and really one that honestly everybody should have one of these in their bag. Really complements other mid-ranges like the Buzz very well, and I'm sure, you know, almost everybody's got a Buzz in their bag, at least at some point in their disc golf career. So this is a really great complement to that. But yeah, overall, I would recommend this, absolutely. Tour Series plastic is beautiful, so if you can grab it in that plastic, I absolutely would. Yeah, thanks for tuning into this review. I will try to get more of these out as much as I'm available. But yeah, I hope this review was helpful for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.